They stood in the driveway like they'd just walked into a crime scene. My mother's mouth twitched first. My father's arms were already crossed. And behind them, my brother's kids were whining about the heat, his wife tapping her phone, already bored. "This is it?" Mom spat, motioning to the modest white bungalow with a red door and a narrow porch. "This is your big new house?" I nodded, calm, silent, watching her realization curdle. "Where do we sleep?" she barked. I held her gaze and set it flat. "You don't." It wasn't always like this. There was a time I thought I mattered, a time I believed family was a place you belonged, not a test you had to pass. But I learned early, my brother was the sun and I was the shadow. Jason, the golden boy, the firstborn, married by 24, 3 kids by 30, a promotion, a dog, matching sweaters at Christmas. Me, I studied hard, stayed quiet, paid my own tuition, got a job, bought a car, alone. Every milestone was met with a shrug. But if Jason so much as sneezed, Mom was there with soup. The final break didn't happen in a blaze. It happened with a question. "I'm thinking of buying a house," I'd told them. Mom immediately cut in. "Oh, perfect! Make sure there are at least 5 bedrooms. Jason's family can't be cramped when they visit." I blinked. "I'm not buying a house for them." "You're being selfish," she said. "You don't have kids. What do you need space for?" I laughed. Small, tight. She wasn't joking. Dad joined in. "You have no one to come home to. It's only fair you make room for family. Only fair." That stuck in my throat like a nail. That night I couldn't sleep. I thought about all the birthdays they missed, the job offers I celebrated alone, the way they always asked about Jason first. I remembered sitting at Thanksgiving while they passed him the biggest piece of pie and told me I was so independent for not needing attention. I thought about the text Mom sent last year. "We won't be visiting for your graduation. Jason's kids have a recital." And I thought, what would happen if I stopped trying to be chosen? I started planning in silence. I researched homes, quiet neighborhoods, small yards, peaceful corners. 2 bedrooms, one for me, one for an office. No guest room, no space for guilt, no room for manipulation. I signed the papers within 2 weeks, didn't tell them, didn't send pictures. When they found out, through a post I made for friends, Mom called immediately. "You bought a house and didn't tell us? You weren't interested." "Of course we are. We'll come this weekend. Make sure the kids have space." That was the moment, the one I'd been waiting for. I said, "There's no space for them." Silence. Then the shriek. They still came. They thought I was bluffing. They pulled up with luggage, car seats, expectations. I greeted them at the door, alone. No welcome mat, no smiles, just keys in my hand and steel in my spine. Mom peered past me. "Where are the other rooms?" "There aren't any." Jason stepped forward. "You knew we were coming." "I did." He frowned. "So where are we supposed to sleep?" I smiled. "You're not." They didn't understand. They still thought I could be guilted, reshaped, scolded into submission. Mom raised her voice, called me ungrateful, said family sacrifices. I nodded slowly. Exactly. I sacrificed enough. I gave years of trying, of shrinking myself to fit inside someone else's story. Jason scoffed. "You're being dramatic." "No," I said. "I'm being free." They didn't stay long. 15 minutes of stunned silence and sputtered insults. Then the slamming of car doors, the engine roaring down the street. And me? I stood alone on my porch, unbothered, unburdened. The house is quiet now, my kind of quiet. Mornings with coffee and sunlight, evenings with books and silence. No forced smiles, no adjusting to fit. Just me, breathing easy for the first time in years. They call sometimes. I don't always answer. And when I do, the tone is different now. Measured, hesitant. They ask about visiting. I say I'm busy. They ask if I'm angry. I say, not anymore. Because this isn't about rage. This is about reclaiming. People think revenge is loud, but the loudest revenge is peace. Mine is a 2-bedroom bungalow and a locked front door.